All right. Well, yes, we can go ahead and get started. It's so nice, Panda, for you to be here. And Lori, it is always a delight to see you. You just put a smile on my face every time I see you. And
Yay.
um, so I'm going to talk about a concept that is probably not new, I mean, to everyone. But I hope that I'm going to present it in a way that's new.
I'm sure.
So it's about when you're engaging with your intuition, um, about leaning into things or leaning away from things. And you can use this. What I love about this method is you can use this a couple of different ways. So I'm going to go through the other thing that let me say this real quick before I forget. The other thing that I love about this method is it appeals to those who have a logical mind, and then it appeals to those who sit in more of the heart space. And so that's what the other thing that I like about it, because there's this logical side of things, and then there's this trusting your heart, trusting your gut, your inner knowing, your inner being, all of those things. So that's what fascinates me about this, is it does have a broader appeal, which is why I chose to talk about it. And it's something that I do in my business. So I do need to clarify, this is not the expertise space that I sit in. I need to be super transparent about that. I'm a master business coach, who actually, my expertise is developing sales funnels that actually convert, and they're customized and they're replicable so that you can generate unlimited revenue using a sales funnel. And I teach women how to create those sales funnels. So, but one of the things that I actually encourage my clients to do is to use this method in making sure that things feel aligned to them, that things feel right to them when they're making business decisions. You can also use this lean in and lean out method in your personal life too. So that's the other piece of it that I really like, is it is more universal. It has many applications, and so there's that. So it really is about that intuitive decision making. And one of the hardest things we do is, think about in a day's time how many decisions we make. I mean, we make a decision on what we have to eat, what clothes we wear, all those different types of things. And most of the time, like some of those decisions at the end of the day, if I wear black today versus purple, I mean, the sky is not going to fall, right? Like the universe is going to continue to spin around and all is going to be well. But if I make a decision that is like, if I make a decision to spend $10,000 when I only have $2,000, well, that's a little bit of a different story, right? And so some of our decisions have a bigger impact than others. Um, Making a decision to buy a house, that has a long-term impact. I mean, so you think about decisions on a spectrum, but once you can use this method, even if it's a little decision or if it's a big decision. So and the other piece that I use with this is it really challenges us to reflect on what it is that we really want. And I mean, really want. And that's going to get played out here in just a few moments. And so it helps us to recognize when to lean into a situation like, look, I'm just going to take a big leap of faith. I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to trust my heart. I'm going to trust my gut, trust my inner knowing, my inner light, whatever you choose to call it. Trust my higher power, whatever it is, that you lean in to a and I'm going to show you how your body is actually going to physically lean in or it's going to physically lean out. Um, and then sometimes we have a decision to make, and our body leans away, and our all knowing says, "Oh, I need to lean out away from this." Typically, it's because we need a little more clarity. Perhaps we need some more details. Perhaps the answer is just no, like this is not for you. And then you get that feeling of ick, like you read something or somebody say something to you and it just turns you off. And you're like, I don't know what it is about this person, but bleh, and that's like your intuition telling you like run. This is not the person to do business with, or this is not the person to bring into your life, or whatever. The other thing is this also aligns with your values, and so your intuition is so aligned with your values, but you got to really open up and be able to listen to that and hear that and see, am I leaning in or am I leaning out? um so let's see what this looks like in um, taking action. One of the key areas of how you can use this is setting your big goals. Like I say that your goals should be so big they make your butt pucker. Like you go, oh, man, um, that is a big goal, you know, and your butt kind of puckers a little bit, right? But that's how big your goals should be, and they should just scare you, and use your intuition to lean into that and say, okay, is this the direction I need to go in, and that type of thing. It forces us to step into our discomfort zone, because growth doesn't happen within our comfort zone. And so this method actually, it either has us leaning in or leaning away. And when your butt's puckering, that means you're typically going to be outside of your comfort zone. And if your body leans into it, ooh, hang on for the ride, because you're you're about to go through it in a big way, but also big goals are going to happen for you. Um, and this also allows us to act with intentionality. So many times we do things and we're like, I don't know why I just did that. Like, I don't know why. I don't even know what I was thinking, right? Like, I don't know. Or maybe I'm the only woman in business who does that. But there's been a lot of times when I've made those decisions and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, I wasn't. And I wasn't like trusting my intuition to do that. So, whenever we're leaning away from something, this forces us to pause and reflect. And ultimately, the answer may be no, okay? But we don't know that necessarily. We need to step back and gain a little bit of perspective, especially when we're feeling uncertain or overwhelmed, or we're out of alignment with our values. And a lot of times, whenever you're getting the ick with someone that you're meeting, it's typically, not always, but it's typically because there's a very large incongruence of values. And it's like, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like for me, integrity is one of my high values. Well, I can spot a sleazy salesperson a million miles away. They are on the complete, they will beg, borrow, lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, and say whatever they have to say to make a sale. So we're on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. So I am so repelled by them because of the value disalignment. Okay. So really think about that whenever you're interacting with people. And if something just doesn't feel right, typically it's a value misalignment in some way. The other thing when you're leaning out is allows us to reset and use this time. Perhaps the answer is yes, and you are going to lean into it, but now is not the time, because there might be, Panda just shared, she had a recent death in her family. Well, that's not the time to be making big decisions, right? Now is not the time to be engaging in things that require a lot of brain power or a lot of energy because, she's going through the grieving process and that type of thing. So sometimes we just need a little bit of a reset. And then you trust what's going on inside of you to say, is now the time? And if your body leans in, okay, now is the time I can make that decision. Or if your body's if it's still leaning out, it's like, okay, there's still some more resetting that needs to happen. And that can look like a whole bunch of different things. And the other one of the beautiful things that I love about this is it helps us avoid burnout. Like decision fatigue is a real thing, just like Zoom fatigue is a real thing, and people talk about their mental capacity. That's a real thing. And sometimes we just need to avoid burnout. And it's like, okay, I cannot take one more thing on my plate at this moment. So I need to lean out from that. I'm not saying no forever. I'm saying no for right now. That's your intuition saying it's not the time, and or if you lean into it, if you force yourself to lean into it, because that can happen, you're going to be fried. And then the outcome isn't going to be what you anticipated or expected or hoped. So I hope all of that makes sense. So, one of the things that I would like us to do is to really sit in, and if you're comfortable, standing up is best if you're able. So when you're practicing this, the other thing I want you to really be cautious of is stand in a safe place, because I have leaned out away from something and almost fallen over because my body was like, no. It was like, I mean, I was really rejecting it and I have almost fallen over. So if you can get to a place while you're practicing this and stand up, and one of the things, it would be, I would have to do a lot of maneuvering to get my desk to stand up, but I'm going to walk you through what this looks like. So if you're able, you can also do this sitting down. Sometimes you have to work at it a little bit harder if you're sitting down. If you have any type of slippers or shoes on, if you can be in your bare feet is best. If you have socks on, it's not the end of the world. Once again, want you to be in a safe place so that when you're leaning forward or leaning back, you're not in a place where you're going to fall and hurt yourself. Okay, so always think safety first. So I have a couple of places in my house or in my swimming pool. So if I fall forward or back in my pool, it's no big deal. And I have some places in my house that will catch me either way whenever I'm actually practicing this. The best thing to do is to close your eyes. And I always start with my hand on my heart. And I just start to breathe and just take some deep breaths and just breathe it in and just be conscious of the beating of your heart. Sometimes I need to roll my shoulders just to kind of work out a little bit of tension. It helps get me more present and more grounded in what I'm about to do. But I like having my hand over my heart. Um, and it just helps me feel more connected to my intuition, more connected to my inner knowing. And so, yeah, sometimes I just have to work it out and I just have to take some deep breaths. And I want you to just lean in and just not physically lean in, open your mind, I should say, and just mentally ask yourself a yes or no question that you actually know the answer to. And so, like, I would ask myself, is my name Angie? And of course, my body's going to lean in. And then I would ask myself a question that I know the answer to. Is it snowing outside? I'm melting in the humidity, so no, right? Um, And so that way you can just get a sense of what your body is how it's going to react to the leaning in and to the leaning out. And I'm going to be quiet for just a few moments because this does work best when you're quiet with no distractions. And I want you to think of a decision and ask yourself the question in a yes or no fashion. And if the answer is yes, you're going to lean in, your body will lean in with you don't have to do anything except stay safe. Or if the answer is no, your body is going to lean out. So I'm just going to be quiet for a few moments and just ask yourself a question. Take some deep breaths, get centered back on your heart, and just ask that question. Sometimes I like to do a double check just to make sure, is that really the answer? Is it really a lean in or a lean out? And I ask my intuition to confirm, is that really the answer? Feel your body react to whatever question it is that you have. We'll take a moment. If you have a second question, we'll do that and then we'll come back together. Okay, hopefully you have been in a safe place. When you're ready, you can come back. Feel free to get comfortable back in your chair. And let's talk about the experience.
It was really cool. I mean, it really works.
Did
It
so did
really
feel
works.
you feel your body going one way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I tried to trick it and it didn't get tricked.
Yeah, I've done that too to challenge like, is this really the answer?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really, and it's amazing. It really is quite amazing.
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, so I went on a huge trip last year. I went to Japan, Bali, and Australia, and I was actually
Wow.
this time last year I was overseas. And before I left, I was having some this and my heart were kind of at odds with one another. And I wasn't figuring out what was really going on. It's like, why is my head and my heart like at
Uh-huh.
odds with each other over this trip? So I just kept probably 3 or 4 minutes, sometimes 5 times a day, I would just do this. And it was always, you're going, go on this trip, go. And and I kept saying, "Are you sure I'm supposed to go?" Because I just had this conflict going on. To this day, I still don't know why I had that conflict, but I just kept trusting my intuition, my inner knowing, to help me. Like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. This is where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to go on this trip and be gone for a month and all the things. And so it's just it takes no time. I mean, literally, you can do it in just a few
Yeah.
seconds. It's not anything that's disruptive. You can do it as many times a day as you need to. And, there's just so many beautiful things that can come from this.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's just kind of like how Adrian was talking last month with just how do you feel internally, and
Mm.
what is the good feeling? What is the bad feeling? And now this with just are you leaning in or are you pulling back? And you think about it because how many times have you been in a meeting and somebody says something and you feel yourself just moving back, or you feel yourself leaning in? I mean, it really is a natural reaction.
Yes, yes. And I've done that when I've been on like discovery sales calls. And if my body, I feel it go away, I'm like, I mean, I don't give an explanation and I say, I'm just not the coach for you. Then give them recommendations on who would be a better fit because I'm not even going to bother with the why. Something about this that my body is just going, no, 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 no. And, so I mean, there's just so many applications um, that can come with this. So one of the things I'll share, as Lori knows, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in September, and the traditional treatments that they wanted me to go through immediately, as soon as they said them, my body like literally threw me back in the chair. Was like, don't do it, don't do it. And every single time they kept talking about this 5-year treatment plan they wanted me to go on, my body literally would get thrown back in the chair because my body was saying, don't do it. And I didn't question why. And so I chose to do some things on my own. And I did get a little bit of laser treatment. And I will tell you that a couple of weeks ago, I got a clean bill of health. I am cancer free. And all of the cysts, like I had both breasts were just riddled with cysts. They were just waiting to turn into something yucky. They're all gone. They like my MRIs don't even look like the same woman's breast. And I really attribute my inner knowing, my intuition saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, finding another alternative that worked. And it didn't, because they just, what they do is they pump you with poison. And yes, it kills the cancer, but it also kills so many other things in your body. And I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I am just not doing this. And thank God I didn't. And that was just, I'm so glad that I listened, and I got a little bit of pushback from my loved ones. And I said, look, I'm like, I have to do what's best for me. When I pray to God you never get that diagnosis, but when you do, you make the decision best for you. But I have to make the decision that's best for me. And I just wasn't willing to. Now, I'll put my poison full of chocolate all day. Like, like give me chocolate all day. That's not very good for you. But this is different. Like this whole different thing. But so anyhow, I mean, that was a big decision, and it didn't steer me wrong, you know.
That's amazing.
And now I have a powerful story.
You have a very powerful story, right? Very powerful. It's just so
Uh,
wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Oh my God. What a relief.
Thank you for
yeah, thank you.
sharing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I know I'm telling you, I even told my husband on the way home, I said, I was still kind of, my insides were still shaking, even on the drive home, because I was like, my body was like, don't you dare. Like it was saying, run. It was that strong. Sometimes it's a little more subtle than that, and it's just a little lean in or a little lean out.
Right.
You know, but I can't think of a time when I've trusted my intuition that it's led me wrong. I tried. Before this, I really sat down and I tried to think of like, man, where has it really led me down a path I didn't want to go, I shouldn't have been on, and I couldn't think of one.
Right. Right. I know, because when you do go against it, you just keep second guessing yourself all the time. I mean, it's just this constant, it doesn't shake itself free. It clings on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, it's such, like I said, this is just one of those really powerful exercises that you can do. And just, and you'll start to notice once you're conscious of it, even no, like you'll be in like even social settings, like you'll find yourself kind of moving away and you're like, oh, there's something going on here. Like maybe I need to leave or, whatever. Um,
You froze on us, Angie. Hello? Oh, there we
uh,
are. So you froze on me, and but now you're back. Oh, no. Open the right panel.
ah, am I still frozen?
Oh, now you're not. And it says, oh, my internet connection is unstable. Huh. Interesting.
Hmm.
I've got a booster, but it's not boosting. But then the AI says, catch up on what you've missed using AI Companion. Simply open the right panel and select Catch Me Up. Hmm. Anyway, I will.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, hopefully, even those who weren't able to be with us today will find this helpful and beneficial and let me know. I would love to hear your experiences. So tag me in the chat or something because I would just love to hear um, what this experience has been like for
Right.
you.
Right. Amanda, did you have a chance to try it out at all? Oh, she's still doing something. Anyway, I found it really great. I'm going to start practicing it. And I'll post this on our Facebook group, hopefully. And because this was really great. It was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed it. And I learned a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, thank you so much. I really did appreciate you giving that demonstration because it's so hard for me to take the moment to sit with my body because I'm so caught up in the wind of my mind.
Mm.
And it's a great reminder. And yeah, thank you for the tips. I'm gonna try to practice it for sure because it's an excellent direction to give because we have lost, we're kind of out of touch with that as a whole group and generations here. And it's an important message because we do need to know ourselves and feel ourselves, and the body speaks to us.
Well, and I think now more than anything, when you look at the news or you hear the news and you're just like, no, 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 no. What we really need to do is, say to that yes to that inner self. And
Mm.
this is just a really great tool. So thank you so much, Angie. I'm definitely going to put it into practice.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I've been doing this for years and I teach all my clients because it's tough. I mean, you know, um it's just sometimes making decisions with especially when we have imperfect information and we need to
Right.
make a decision, it can be really tough and then we can second guess ourselves and it's like but we don't because we have this great tool now in our toolbox that you can do. I mean, you can do this standing in a grocery store, in a car dealership. I mean, you can do this anywhere and
Right.
so
Yeah, it's great. Well, thanks so much. And if I run into technical difficulties, I'm sure you'll help me.
gladly.
Okay, thank you so much. And Panda, thanks so much for joining us. And all of you other wise women out there that hopefully are going to listen to this and give it a try, please do, because it really, really works. It's really rather uncanny.
Thank
But
you.
it's amazing. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Angie.
Thank you, ladies. It was so nice to see you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.